Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. Yeah, skies have cleared out tonight, but we did have a lot of clouds around today. Um, but they get around looking at the clear sky, even though we have no sunshine because it's nighttime. Still enjoying seeing the stars, and yeah, there's a pine somewhere in the Wanto area. I'm not telling you where. But yeah, it was a nice evening. Enjoy it because we got the rainy. I'm gonna have 3 days of suck to begin this week here. So that's all called 3 days of suck. Though we do need the rain. There was a wildfire in Jersey that they were able to get under control relatively quickly. But you'd see the clouds that we had in the earlier part of the day cleared out tonight. But you could see a whole bunch more clouds that are going to be approaching from the west, and that will be our next system. Here it is, southwest. It's going to be, this is the next system right here. And it's got a little bit of Gulf moisture to work with, too, as well. But this isn't the bigger system. But you definitely do see this system that is coming up toward us. So looking at the weather map, you'll see here we have high pressure giving way to this low that's developing, and it's going to move up from the Gulf and bring us rain for tomorrow. But let's first talk about today's weather. Not a whole lot going on across the country. There's some snow, wintry weather up in Montana, but other than that, do have a small craft advisory until midnight tonight. It was breezy today and very mild, too, as well. We're down to 36 at Islip, down to 30 at West Hampton, down to 30 at in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River as well. So it is dropping. We're seeing that radiational cooling after a warm day because dew points are still low. They're down to like 26 degrees today. So that was very nice. Low humidity that we're not going to be having for the next 3 days as we're going to deal with more moisture in the air. But you'll see here we did have a west-northwest wind for much of the day, and that meant no sea breeze, so temperatures were able to get up to the mid-50s pretty much everywhere. So let's first look at our highs for the day. And our highs got well into the mid-50s today, and mid-50s. Quite warm across the island, about above normal, mid-50s in the city too. And mid-50s also, actually upper 50s, close to 60 in southern New Jersey. Very, very much above normal today. Looking at the lows, got down to 28, I guess, at West Hampton. I guess that was this morning. Lows were in the mid-30s. I don't think these are the current temperatures here. Let's see what we got here. I think these were from this morning. Come on. 30 at, I don't know if those are the current temperatures. We'll have to look at the observations and see, which we will do. We'll go ahead and look at West Hampton and see if that 28 was this morning or not. It actually was tonight. It actually dropped to 28 and then went up again. But I still think we'll have lows in the 20s tonight in the Pine Barrens and probably around 30 to 35 elsewhere. Look at it, it's still 50 in the city. That's similar to probably what my alley is, 50 in Central Park. It's probably 50 in the alley. Can't enjoy any of that radiational cooling here. But anyway, let's go and look at our climate statistics for the day. At Islip, a high of 54 and a low of 39. Puts us 8 degrees above normal for the day. So let's go and look at our models here as we head into this week and head into the week ahead, and you'll see definitely some changes going on as we get some rain. And we're still in the drought. Let's just show you the drought monitor again. So we're still, even though we've had some rain and it's reduced the fire danger somewhat, we're still dealing with extreme drought in Ocean County. Much of all the New Jersey Pine Barrens are in an extreme drought and a severe drought for everybody else. So yeah, we could still use the rain, and we will get some this week. So let's go look at the patterns here. The jet stream will first start off with here on the GFS, and you'll see as we get into this week, you see that trough that digs, and that's gonna see that moisture feed right from the Gulf. That's gonna bring us heavy rain, especially on Wednesday. Could be an LLJ type of event as a low forms along that front. Cold front comes through. We see a drop in temperature. And then we see a few more troughs swing through, so there will be chances for rain in this forecast ahead. Though no really big cold air masses, because if you look at the jet in the Pacific, you'll notice it's fairly straight, which means it's a fire hose, which means, once again, that's going to not allow the really cold air to come down. And we're going to probably be dealing with above normal temperatures for at least much of this month with that kind of jet stream. And we're going to look at the European, too, and see if the European is any different in regards to that jet stream. Yeah, it's a little different. But you definitely see opportunities here for a precipitation and some troughs. So some fronts coming through here. So let's go to the upper air. As we head into this week, and you'll see that ridge there building off the east coast and the trough into the center of the country. South, you can see that south fetch right there, right off the Gulf. So that's going to bring in the moisture. And then we get a little bit of cold air behind it. But then after that, yeah, we're dealing with a lot of ridging, and we'd have to wait until the next, at least toward the end of the period. It looks like it's got another big trough in the east there. But don't really see too much of a block in Greenland developing, which is what you need if you want to have a sustained cold pattern. We're not seeing that. GFS, they're probably pretty much in agreement here. Here's the GFS. Maybe that trough shaped a little differently on the GFS, but you see after that cold outbreak, we're going to have a lot of mild weather with the ridging. So that's the problem that we're going to have, obviously, dealing with these above normal conditions. So we'll go to the temperature anomaly chart here on the GFS to show you what I'm talking about here. And you'll see here above normal for a good part of this week. We're going to be above normal. And then we have a cold shot of air that'll come through Thursday and Friday. But then already by the weekend, we're already moderating, and then we're dealing with above normal conditions again. And then maybe another little outbreak, so there are some outbreaks, but in between, we're going to have to deal with some above normal conditions for sure. I'll take this down to the CONUS view now. So let's go look at the surface. So here's the surface on the GFS, and here's the system for tomorrow. It won't be a soaker, but it'll be a decent, steady rain probably for a period in the afternoon. And then Tuesday we get a break, but it's still going to be cloudy, and there could be soaky drizzle around. And then here's the main event for Wednesday. A front comes through. A front is approaching. A low forms along the front. We get that Gulf moisture riding up along that front, and that's going to bring us a good heavy rain for all of Wednesday into Wednesday night, ending by early Thursday morning, and then the cold air comes on in. So this will be a good heavy rainfall, which again we still need. We still need it because we're still in this extreme drought for Jersey and severe drought for our area. So even though we've seen the fire danger subside, as you know, we still need more rain because there was another wildfire in Ocean County today. All right, so we still need more rain. Especially Jersey. So let's go look at the European. And we'll go to the 12Z European here just to show you again. There's that first batch. Again, that tomorrow shouldn't be too... It's the main event is Wednesday. That's the main event. And that's going to be a strong storm. That's going to be a soaker. And that's going to bring in a really heavy rain. And then behind it, you see the colder air follow with that high pressure system there. So... but we will get into some of that rain. So I don't think this has it does have the 700 to 300. So this is actually this will also be a good illustration for you of what we're. So tomorrow, get a little bit of a tap from the Gulf there. That system moves along pretty quickly. But you notice we don't really get into any of those brown colors too much on Tuesday. And then here comes the system for Wednesday. Look at that dark green there. So it's got a lot of Gulf moisture to work with. And then behind it, the dry air comes in. But that's a lot of Gulf moisture to work with. And you also notice there's a little bit of a V in the isobars. We'll get a little closer there and show you that because that could also mean severe weather. So go to the GFS here. There's a first event, and then actually no, this is not the first. This is the first event tomorrow, and then here's that, and you can see how much darker the green is, and see how far that goes up. So you can see there's a nice sharp line there with that, and that's what we'll have to watch for Wednesday. Yeah, that's what we have to deal with this week. So let's take a closer look at our storm systems on here. And you'll see what I mean here with the cutoff here. So there's the first system. The second system, very impressive. Very impressive. And there looks like there's a lot of... Looks like there's going to be an LLJ with this system. If I go to the... Let's see if we go to the... trying to pick the right thing here. I need the 850 wind, yeah. Yeah, here's what I'm talking about. There's going to be an LLJ developing with this system. So it looks like the heart of the LLJ, looks like Suffolk County would wind up getting into it. And you can see it right here. Some pretty strong winds aloft that could come down to the surface. So there may be a wind advisory needed for at least parts of our area for Wednesday. And that's a very strong LLJ right there. And you can see it gets even stronger as it moves further to the east. So there's a lot of wind there with that. And that's a lot of wind right there. So as far as rainfall goes, we'll go to the 24-hour precipitation here. And yes, we'll look at the... Actually, I don't know if the Euro has this feature. I don't think it does. Oh, the Euro does too. So let's look at this on the Euro. Actually, we have the 18s Euro. So that should go far enough out. All right. Euro is also showing it. So again, here's that LLJ. It looks like it brings it over Wednesday night over Suffolk County. And that's pretty intense right there. Looks like a pretty intense low-level jet right there that moves on in. So let's do the 24-hour accumulated precip. So it'll show us. That's the first system. All right, no big deal. It's the second system that's going to be the soaker. And you can see it looks like that almost all of our area will get at least an inch of rain. Jersey could get maybe 1 to maybe even 1.5 inches. And then the Suffolk County could get 2 and maybe even more than that, maybe up to 3 inches of rain. Looking at the GFS, has the line a little bit further over Nassau County. We'll be able to fine-tune this as we get closer, but there's going to be an area of a stripe of heavy rain that's going to affect our area for a real... it depends on where this all sets up, and right now that's just too early to tell. But there's going to be an area that's definitely going to get over 2 inches. I kind of wish it was more over Jersey, but because they really need it even more than we do. But anyway, now you have an idea of what the second system looks like. Let's go look at the short range and take a look at the first system. So here's the first system that comes in for tomorrow. Nothing too impressive. You see, it's mainly light. Light rain, maybe occasionally moderate. I don't think there'll be any really major downpours or anything. It's going to arrive in the early afternoon, and by the evening, it's mostly out of here. And then for Tuesday, we're going to just deal with cloudy skies, maybe some sucky drizzle. Maybe. I'm hoping not. But this system here, according to the HRRR at least, not really producing a whole lot of rain here. Maybe we'll see a quarter to maybe some areas might get up closer to a half an inch of rain. Unfortunately, it's not showing nearly that much for Jersey, it's only showing less than a tenth of an inch for Jersey on this particular model here. So let's go and look at some other models when it comes to precipitation. We'll go ahead and look at the NAM model. And here's the NAM model. Here's the NAM. The NAM's a little more vigorous with the rainfall. You can see the NAM does have some heavier patches, perhaps, but the timing's still the same. It's not really going to last. It's not going to be an all-day thing. It'll mainly be early afternoon through the early evening, and then it should wrap up. Total accumulated precip here. Yeah, NAM's not really showing too much as well. So, yeah, it's mostly a quarter of an inch to maybe a half an inch on this, and that's pretty much it. The first thing is not going to really be a real soaker. It's the second thing, the second storm that we're going to see more rain. But still, we could use it because, again, we're seeing those brush fires again, so it's not a good thing. We definitely don't want to see that. It's December already. It's unheard of to have brush fires in December. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's go look at the HRRR is what I want to look at here. So let's go look at the dew points and wind flow here as we head into your day tomorrow. Light winds tonight. Could be radiational cooling again. I think it could get pretty chilly in the Pine Barrens. And then light north winds to start tomorrow, turning east to southeast. Dew points stay low, but then they start coming up as we get into the rain, so we'll get a little more moisture from that, though no real deep moisture from that. All right, but you'll see the dew points don't really come down that much for Tuesday. So, and you can see what we have. It looks like almost like a stalled warm front to our south. That's why I'm a little concerned about drizzle because we're going to have a lot of moisture in the air. And we'll look at some modeling with that in a moment. Tonight, obviously, the lows will probably get down into the except around 30 to around 30 degrees most areas, but again colder than that in the Pine Barrens. Tomorrow's going to be because we'll have the cloud covers, but still today kind of surprised me. So we can still get up to the low to mid 50s perhaps, which is well above normal. And then temperatures not dropping tomorrow night. And then we're kind of pretty much staying in the 40s pretty much for staying in the tomorrow night we'll probably stay in the mid 40s, and then Tuesday I should say, we're going to see temperatures rise again close to 50-degree mark. Let's look at the GFS here. So this will give you a nice reflection of the storm here as it comes in on in. Here are the dew points in the wind flow. So as you can see, there's those high dew points on Wednesday. Dew points rising to 50s. It's going to get humid. And look at all those bars on the wind there. That's your strong southerly LLJ coming on in. So it's going to be one of those wet and wild situations. And when it looks like it has the front coming through right around 7 o'clock or so, and then boom, here comes the cold air coming right behind it here for Thursday, and dew points drop quite a bit here. This looks like it'll be a decent cold shot of air actually Thursday into Friday. The dew points drop into the single digits. That's good, and then it kind of lifts out by the weekend. And then after that, you don't really see a whole lot of that kind of air. Then you have to wait until later, and so you better enjoy it because we're lucky we're getting that. All right, took this storm to pull some of that cold air down. That's what we needed. You can see those temperatures too, possibly rising into the 60s in that warm sector, and then from that, boom, we're down to the 30s for Thursday, and then 30s again for Friday, and then we start seeing recovery by the weekend. So that's what it looks like right now. Let's go and look at obviously skies. We're going to have plenty of clouds. So I'm going to, shall I even show you the skies? We'll show you the skies. I'll just show you the RGM on the skies here. So you get an idea for what it looks like tomorrow. You have the zeros in, so you can see maybe a little sun in the morning. And then the clouds kind of rapidly increase. And it's going to go from sun to clouds to rain pretty quickly. And then the clouds are in, and then they kind of stick with us again on Tuesday. I'll be sticking around with mostly cloudy and overcast skies and possibly some drizzle. And if we go and we look at the total accumulated precip we'll go back to GFS here for a moment. Total accumulated precip. You run this through here, and you'll see between the two storms, we could get a good amount of rain. So that takes us to the Weather Prediction Center and back to our QPF forecast. So let's go ahead and look at the days 1 through 7, and you'll see we've got red over us, which means this is the 1 through 7. I'll do the 1 through 5. Here's the 1 through 3, which takes us through Thursday. And you can see it's got an area of purple over Jersey, which is 1.5 to 2 inches between both systems, and then over 2 inches, possibly approaching 3 inches over Long Island. And then as we go days 1 through 7, we could see as much as 4 to 5 inches. So it looks like an above normal precipitation pattern is going to be, and that's kind of what we need to get us even close to getting us out of the extreme drought. We need at least 3 to 5 inches of rain to make some kind of significant progress against the drought. We do need a lot of rain to get out of it. We go look at the excessive rain, day 2, day 3. You can see we've got a slight risk for the excessive rain on Wednesday here being put over us. And there could be some flooding from that, perhaps over, especially east of the area. It seems like that's where the heavier rain is going to be. So let's go and look at our Ventus sky here. We'll look at some of the wind modeling here for Wednesday. All right, on this. All right, this is using the icon model, I think, right? Yes, uses the icon. We'll use this icon model. We'll see. Wind gusts 9 in the morning, not so bad on Wednesday, but as we get to 5 o'clock, boom, here you go. This is when that LLJ sets up, and you'll see here that we're going to have wind gusts up 50 miles an hour. So, wind advisory is definitely going to be needed. And look at those winds. Wow, this is really significant. These winds get even worse over. So it looks like Long Island is really going to get hit very hard. Here we are Wednesday night dealing with some 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This is high wind warning territory. All right, ahead of this front. This is the icon model here. And then this is the icon model. Let me show the GFS model here. Oh, my. Yeah, this is really disturbing. Okay. Yeah, this is really disturbing here. A 62, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This could be a very damaging event with some very significant beach, especially Long Island. Jersey, oh, you're lucky. You're gonna avoid it. But Long Island, it looks like this is going to be significant. A significant storm for Long Island, and power outages could be a possibility. Harder hit, you're in Suffolk County. You're going to get the worst of it, according to what we're seeing right now in the models. And the reason why we go this, I'll go back to the auto, and we'll go to we'll go to wind speed, and we'll go above the ground here. Let's go to 1,600 feet, and this is what you have going on here. So this is a significant LLJ event, folks. Very strong winds from the south here. This is going to be, this is going to be significant here. This is, again, at 1,600 feet, but still, that's not that high up. And what takes is a thunderstorm to bring that down to the surface. So this is a pretty vigorous LLJ event that we're looking at right now. So I'm definitely going to be watching this very, very closely, for sure. There could be power outages and problems galore on Wednesday night and beach erosion too. If we go to waves, let's see, we go to seas here. Yeah, look at these waves, 13 feet. And then we have so this could be a significant coastal flooding event that we have as well. So this is not looking good, this Wednesday night event. 14 feet, 16 feet. Yeah, this is Long Island is going to get absolutely creamed by this LLJ. This is going to be significant LLJ. And quite interesting, actually, for sure. It's going to be a soaker. That is for sure. And we're going to get a heavy rain. And thunderstorms. So let's go look at this. I'm not sure if this is going to show Cape on here. This is using the GFS here at this point. I don't see any Cape, but we're going to have to watch for this because there could be possibly some severe thunderstorms that develop just with all that wind involved. Look at the helicity. This is significant. So, yeah, this is a significant storm that we're watching. This isn't just going to be a rainy day type of deal, especially if you're on Long Island. This is going to be a damaging storm, is what we're looking at right now in the models. And the reason why, and again, why is the wind so bad is because we have a big LLJ. So if we go back to look at the radar output here if you want. Look at how tight those isobars are, how close together they are. That's a big LLJ from the Gulf that's coming up. And there's also a V here. You look at the isobars, you see that there is a V. And when there is a V shape in the isobars, that is a sign of the potential for severe thunderstorms with damaging wind gusts. And I can't even rule out the possibility of a tornado at this point. I know we're kind of jumping the gun here. And we'll get closer as we get toward this. We will definitely have more information to work with. Right now, I can tell you Wednesday night is going to be very, very stormy, especially if you're on Long Island. Very interesting from a meteorological perspective. So here we go, convective outlook. No severe thunderstorms forecast, but we'll have to pay attention to this because critical fire weather, they have fire weather forecasts as well. They do that too as well. And if we go look at this, you'll see there were areas that we had to watch here in Jersey. But thank God, at least we're going to get some rain. So we're not going to have to worry about that. We're going to have to worry about tropical storm type conditions Wednesday night. So let's go look at the climate outlook. No surprise, much of the country above normal on the 6 to 10 day outlook, especially above normal in the southern states, even Arizona. Not really much cold air. Precipitation near normal. So they don't have us above normal on precipitation, which kind of surprises me a little bit. 8 to 14 day, again near normal. And at west is very warm. The whole country is very warm, as you see there. 6 to 10, 8 to 14 day. All very, very much above normal. for precipitation. So if you're hoping for any wintry Christmas feeling weather, your best chance of that is going to be Thursday and Friday behind this big storm that we're getting. Otherwise, I don't know, man. Lastly, we'll go look at the sea ice because that's important. And the sea ice sluggish freeze up in the warming north. So following the pattern of recent years, autumn freeze-up has been slow in the Arctic, reflecting the growing heat in the ocean mixed layer during the summer and higher air temperatures. So this is all, again, very concerning. Here's our chart. 2024 is the blue line here. And you'll see we're scraping at the bottom here when it comes to sea ice. So this is not a good situation. I talk about this every week when we do our weekly because it's important that we do talk about it because this is all part of climate change. But again, we have this climate is out of control. And all I'm going to say, last comment in this video here. I know everybody's talking about the drones in New Jersey, and honestly, I hope that they're there to interfere with. I'm going to say it right now. Trump has to be stopped. He cannot become the president. That's all I'm going to say. He has to be stopped because he's going to destroy the planet. And I'd like to think that some alien civilization, which is maybe behind all these drones, are going to find a way to stop him because we're already in big trouble, but he's going to make it even worse. All right. You cannot have somebody who denies the fact that we are in a climate emergency running this country. It is unacceptable. All right. He is not fit just for that reason alone. I think the UN should have a resolution saying we cannot have world leaders deny climate change. Any world leader that denies climate change has to be removed from power or not allowed to take power. That's the way I think. And I know, oh boy, I'm going to get a lot of hate for it. I don't really care. Trump did a monster and he needs to be stopped. And I don't care how at this point. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather report. Have a good night.